Hey, good morning and welcome to another edition of Backyard Beekeeping. It is August 12th, 2014, and today I'm going to introduce you to our two new queens. The inspection I'm doing here was just done yesterday morning, August 11th, 2014, approximately 6:30 in the morning, which seems to be a pretty ideal time to crack these boxes open. The ladies are still sleeping off their sugar high, and they're not too angry for me poking around in there. The hive I'm looking at here, which I'll refer to as hive number 2, is the captured swarm. And I have identified 2 days prior to this inspection, I had identified the queen being inside this box here. So I'm just merely verifying that she's still in there. A couple things we've got going on here. I know I'm going to get some questions about this, so I'm going to try to answer them ahead of time. We're not out of the woods yet. I'm not quite doing the happy dance. I did a content dance the other day when I found the queen, but I'm not happy quite yet. There are still 2 more hurdles that I need to, that they need to overcome before I can really kind of breathe a sigh of relief that we're going to get through the winter. We have obtained 2 new queens. They were able to produce 2 apparently viable queens. They look very healthy. They look like they're going to do just fine. The 2 other things we need to do is overcome the population loss due to them just their natural die-off. Here's the first queen I'm going to show you. She's got the all golden body with the little black tip on her bottom. And she's going to come right there in the center screen. She's high center. She's got, you look at her body structure there, she's significantly pointier by comparison to the other ladies in there. All golden brown. She's very, very cool. That makes me happy. Typical lifespan of a honeybee is about 6 or 7 weeks during the busy season, which we are in. They literally work themselves to death, and they are normally replaced by brood or new bees which emerge. It takes a new bee from the day they get the egg laid about 21 days before they can eat their way out of that cell and become a productive member of the hive. The thing is it's been about 3 weeks since we've had queens in these hives, so I have no brood left. So all the workers are on borrowed time right now. This whole hive is on borrowed time. So I need to get these queens a-cracking, start laying some eggs. Let's get this moving. So the next about 3 or 4 weeks are going to be extremely critical. Second thing we need to overcome is we need to overcome the fact that they have made an extreme amount of honey. When the queen disappears, the portion of the population which normally attends to brood and normally attends to the queen's needs turns into honey making mode. They have nothing else to do, so they revert back to their original programming, which is foraging and honey making. So they can essentially lock themselves out of their own hive. If they put too much effort into producing honey, they're going to eliminate this space to actually have brood. So that could be a possibility. I'm keeping a pretty close eye on that. Yeah, that's a slippery slope right there too. So 3 weeks, about 3 weeks before we can really tell if this is all going to work out. And I'm really hoping. We need to overcome population loss, we need to overcome the brood lockout, and we've already overcome the first hurdle, which is getting 2 new queens. I want you to keep an eye on the population too. This is hive number 1, which is the original hive. Significantly more bees in there than the swarmed hive, but I'm keeping an eye on it. Here I found her. Oh, I probably was saying something clever there. There's the queen right there. You'll see her body movements are significantly different. Just her patterns of walking and how active she is. Significantly different than the rest of the bees. She's right there in that top right hand corner of the scraper, working her way through the population there. And I know someone might ask me if I'm going to mark her. Right now I'm not marking either of the queens right now. There's a couple reasons for that. First of all, the hives are small enough that I can find them pretty easily. I don't think I'm going to add a second box to this before winter. If anything, I may add what would be a super box, which are those 6.5-inch ones. But we're not going to get so big that it's going to be hard to see her. And secondly, I don't want to risk injuring her. You've got to physically capture the queen and hold her while you dab her thorax with paint, and then you have to wait 30 seconds for that stuff to dry. And I just am a little gun shy about hurting her. So we'll see. We'll keep you guys updated. I told you, short and sweet. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. See ya!